You've been injured, or a family member has been injured, or sadly you've lost a loved one in your family, and you begin this journey of dealing with lawyers and lawsuits, a journey you never wanted to be on to begin with. What is that journey like with CaseyGerry? Well, you may be referred to us by a former client or somebody who knows our reputation in the community. You may have seen our website and decided you wanted to interview us. And if you contact us, the first thing we'll do is we'll get all the information on your case and evaluate it to see if it's something that we recommend you go forward with. If it's a case that we believe you should consider, then we will meet with you personally and talk to you about what your options might be. If you decide after discussing your options that you would like us to undertake representation, we'll undertake representation on a contingency basis where we take all the financial risk and we advance the costs so that you don't have any financial exposure. Our first step is always to have our investigators then meet with you. They're very well trained to document all the incidents regarding whatever accident or occurrence that may have impacted you, and they'll go out in the field, they'll interview witnesses, they'll get pictures. Where there are videos, they will send out notices to preserve the videos. So we'll take every step we can to make sure we preserve the evidence at the beginning. Once we've done that, then we have you come back with us and you meet with us, and we go over all the evidence and explain what steps we're now going to be taking. If we're going to file an action, we get your permission and then prepare the lawsuit and file it. Our experience is that we do much better for clients when we file a case. First of all, we get all the information on the other side, including all the insurance they have. And the reason we do that is we have found over the years that many times insurance limits are misrepresented to us. And we feel much more comfortable on a serious case getting verification as to all insurance policies, all commercial policies, all excess policies, all potential issues involving scope of employment. So we pull all of that information together. At the same time, your job, if you've been injured, is to get a full recovery, to make sure you're getting the best medical care. Normally people say, well, how long will my case go on? Normally a case will last about 1.5 years. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But one thing that's critical is that we fully understand the impact of the injury on you. If you have a complete recovery, then we can resolve your case. But if you have ongoing issues that may be lifelong, we need to understand those. We need to make sure we've got all the projections in terms of lifelong medical care that you may need before we ever resolve your case. You can only settle your case once. And once you settle it, you can't come back. So for that reason, we want to make sure that we've taken every step we can to fully analyze the impact on you. How do you deal with settlement? We will make recommendations to you, but no settlement negotiations are entered into without your full and complete understanding of what we're doing and your authority. So if we're going to put a demand in for settlement, we'll discuss it with you and obtain your authority for a demand. We will not issue a demand to the other side without your authority. That's not how we operate. If we get an offer, we communicate it to you, and again, any response we have, whether we accept or counter negotiate, will depend on obtaining your authority after we have discussed it with you. These days, many cases go into mediation, but they only go into mediation after there's been extensive discovery. And mediation is basically a process where you sit down with a former retired judge or with a very experienced lawyer who's now become a mediator, and they will analyze your case and analyze what they think a jury will do. They'll talk to the other side, and there's a negotiation that goes back and forth. Mediations under California law are completely confidential. So when you go into mediation with a mediator, you can tell them anything, but it will never be used in your trial and never be disclosed outside of the mediation. Mediations have been a very effective way of resolving cases, and frankly, there have been fewer and fewer trials as we've gone through the years. Now, certain cases will go to trial. A few years ago, we had a serious injury where they offered $1 million. I counseled the client not to take it. We went to trial. We obtained a $7 million verdict. There's sometimes when we have to recommend to a client, they turn down an offer, and that's a decision we make with our client only after we fully educated the client on the risks. In that case, I had to tell the client, well, you could get less than $1 million, but we think the jury's going to really like you and come back with more. And the jury, in fact, did. But most cases now resolve through mediation. However, to be effective in mediation, we have to do a good job for you in discovery. We take numerous depositions, we get documents, so that the other side understands the severity of your case and the value of your case. That's how we maximize it. At CaseyGerry, we do not take a case and just sit on it and try to settle it without actively litigating it. We do not just sit back. There are many law firms where you don't even deal with attorneys, you deal with paralegals. They try to settle your case quickly and just flip cases over. We do not operate that way. We put our clients' interests first. We never resolve a case unless you want to resolve it, unless you fully understand the ramifications of it.